Let me just share the screen. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I
I will make it bigger. This is better, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
So
Yes.
just for your information, I can't see you anymore because I'm now in the presentation mode, but I hope you can still see me.
Yes.
No.
Okay. Okay, so
Yes,
warm
I can see you now.
welcome
Okay.
to ProGirls preparation session. As you all know, this year we wanted to continue as usual with ProGirls internships and mentoring sessions and Girls Days. But due to Corona, we needed to adapt and to change the concept a bit. And part of this adapted concept is also this online preparation session.
I cannot. Sorry.
Can you mute your microphones just for the time being? That would be great. Just switch off your microphone because we hear this alarm, this noise in the background very strongly. Yeah, this is better. Okay. So talking about our working mode today and switching off the microphones. So what we would like to ask you for is if it's okay with you, we are recording this webinar series because there might other people be who would still join ProGirls who cannot make it today. It's also for you as a reference. You can then access this webinar on the Econowin website. We are going to send around a link. If anyone is not okay with that, please just don't speak up and don't show yourself in this webinar. We hope that this is okay with you.
Okay
And then,
for me.
if it's not okay, you can write it in the chat function and just really keep your camera switched off. And also just don't speak verbally, but you can still then type questions into the chat function. Generally, it would be good, as I said already, if you could mute yourself when you are not speaking. When you speak, it would be nice if you could switch on your camera so that we can see each other. And if you want to speak, if you have questions, if you want to comment on something, please feel free to do so. But raise your hand. There is, I don't know if you know this function in MS Teams. You can click on a hand in the chat function so that we can see that you raise your hand. If you don't find this button, this is also okay. You can just type into the chat function, hello, I have a question, or I would like to say something. And Hania is having an eye on you and on the chat function because I don't see it.
Hello.
So just trust that Hania will find the one who wants to contribute something. Is this fine with all of you?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, it's fine.
Okay.
Yes, it's fine by me.
Fantastic. Then let us move on and let us start with the little introduction round. Could you say quickly so that everyone else can get to know you and see you, your name, the company you are working for, the function that you are having, and if you and your company had been part of ProGirls before? This would be great. For this round, I will end the show so that I also see you. And maybe, Hania, you can moderate. I would suggest we start just with the first person who is on top of the chat function. So with Azza.
Dr. Azza, you can start now. Just turn on your camera.
I will put the camera on. Yes.
And Tina, you can stop sharing.
Yes.
I stopped sharing. Huh? Okay, I will.
You can see me now. My name is Damanhour. My company is Alex Pharmacies. I'm working in the pharmaceutical business. I was a part from. I begin with the ProGirls from the beginning. I'm a part of this program. And I'm honored to be part of this program.
Thank you, Dr. Azza. We are very happy that you are there today and you still join this project. Who is next? I can't see the chat, so Hania, it would be good if you could moderate.
Sorry, دعاء from Maghreb. Can you start?
Hi, Hania. ازيك؟ Karina, how are you?
Hello, Doa. How are you?
Fine, and you?
Also, thank you.
My name is Dua Hussein. My company, Maghreb International Garments, function CSR manager, CSR and compliance manager. Part of ProGirls, I am project manager for ProGirls program before. We are يعني take ProGirls and Girls Day and monitor. We are working in this program before.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Doa. Very happy that you're there with us today and on board again.
Thank you, Karin.
Then we have Hadir from Johanna.
Mm-hmm.
This is Hadir Al-Amari from Johanna's company. I work in the HR department. This is our second year taking part in this program. Last year, we took part in the 2-week internship and Girls' Day and the mentorship program. Mm-hmm. Adding to this, this year we took part in the ProGirls TechIS program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. Thank you, Hadir. Very happy to have you on board as well this year. Who's next?
Ilham, she just joined us. Can you turn your camera on and introduce yourself?
Or maybe the next person then, and she can see something later on.
Then Heba Ayed.
Hello. This is Heba Ayed, CEO at Talent 360. Mainly our function is HR services for startups and SMEs. I have been part of ProGirls before for the mentorship and Girls' Day. This is our second year with ProGirls.
Thank you, Heba. Great to have you.
Then Maggie.
Yes. Okay, so hello everyone. Hello Hania, Karina, and all the ladies here. My name is Dr. Engineer Maggie Masheli from the German University in Cairo. I'm also presenting here for myself and my friend, Dr. Iman Azab. She unfortunately couldn't join us because she has a meeting at work. We both have been participating with the ProGirls program for 2 years now, and this is our third year to be joining as mentors. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you. Us as well. Looking forward to working with you again.
Then Maha Mwefi.
Hello, everybody. This is Maha Mwefi from German Auto Service, Mercedes-Benz. And my function is Business Development Manager. And my company had been sharing in ProGirls initiative since the beginning of the initiative in 2016. And we are still happy to share in it. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Maha.
Then Maram.
Hello. This is Maram Zakaria from Gebra company. I work as a community outreach specialist. We have been participating in ProGirls program as a mentorship in the mentorship program, and this year we were supposed to participate as in the school visit. So.
Thank you, Maram. Happy to have you.
Thank you so much. Happy to.
Then Myrna from DHL.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, hi. I'm Mirna Dimitri. I'm the HR generalist from DHL Global Forwarding, and actually participated in the ProGirls program last year. It was a very successful experience, and we could do this year. Thank you.
Thank you. We are very happy that DHL is there again with us this year. Thank you, Min.
Then we have Nihed. But she's having some internet problems, so I guess till it's solved, we can have Basant from Juhaina.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Basant Fouad. I'm heading the external communication in Juhaina. As Hadir mentioned earlier, we've been part of the mentorship program and ProGirls. Happy to participate. Personally, my first time to be part of the ProGirl, and I'm really, really excited. Looking forward to it.
Yes, us as well. Thank you, Hassan.
Then Rabab from Orange.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. My name is Rabab Safa. I am from Orange, Egypt. Presenting as well my manager Ahmed Nabil. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to come due to another meeting at the same time. This is the first time we were approached and we are to participate in ProGirls, and we are happy and excited to join.
Yes, thank you, Rabab. We are also very happy that Orange is joining for the first time.
Yes,
looking forward.
We are looking forward to you. Thank you very much.
Then we have Rihem Hazen. Hi Rihem, can you hear me? Okay, so we can go already to the next one, Rinette from Cisco.
Hi everyone, this is Rinette Anwar from Cisco Egypt. This is my second time with ProGirls, and I'm looking forward to have a new mentee.
Great. We are looking forward to the cooperation with you as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Then we have Rihem Aidel.
Yes. Hello, my name is Rihem Aidel. I'm the CEO of GovMart company, and I'm also acting as many other things, but my favorite is, of course, female mentor. And we have been with the ProGirls since day one, empowering and mentoring girls, as we are a company with clear discrimination known as we hire only females, or let's put it in a better word, empowering females. So, of course, we are very happy to be always with them in the program, and hope that this year is going to be even better. Like every year we do better, and the program does better than the year before. Thank you.
We hope so too. Thank you.
Then Sarah Hisham.
Hello, hi. Hello,
Hello.
Hi. So I'm Sarah Hisham. I work for Juhaina Food Industries. I'm HR business partner. As Hadir and Basant, my colleagues, they already said that we've been part in the ProGirls since last year. So I'm very joining this now. Thank you so much.
Thank you as well.
Then we have Wissam.
Hi.
Wissam, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, here is Wissam Ahmed, the business development section head at mobile company for recruitment and HR consultations. It's the fourth year for participating in ProGirls programs. We're very happy and welcoming and enjoying, by the way, participating in all ProGirls programs. By the way, I'm the project manager of internships program for the 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you, I'm happy to have you on board again.
Thank you, great. Welcome, great.
Then we have Yasmin Khalid.
Hi, this is Yasmin Khaled from Eventum IT Solutions. I'm administrative assistant there. And this is our second time, I guess, to be part of ProGirls. However, this is my first time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Then we have Dalia Al-Badri, who joined us. Dalia. Then we have Rania Siddiq.
Hello. Sorry, I was muted. Hello, Hania.
Hi, Dalia.
I assume this is introduction round. Okay. This is Dalia Al-Badri from ICE Alex team.
Can you say a few words on whether it's your first time to participate in ProGirls and your position?
Okay. This is Dalia Al-Badri from ICE Alex team in Alexandria. We are an innovation hub in Alexandria. Actually, this is our third year in the program to be part of ProGirls. I am the communication and partnership manager in ICE Alex.
Thank you, Dalia.
Thank you, Dalia.
Welcome. Hi, Crane. How are you?
Hi. How are you?
Hi.
And Rania Siddiq. Can you introduce yourself?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, this is Rania Salah Siddiq. I'm the founder of Gebra, and it's our third year at the program. Maram has joined since the beginning of the meeting today, and she's our focal point with ProGirls this year. And we're excited to be mentoring online. We'll see.
Fantastic. Yes. Thank you so much. We are excited as well.
People keep joining the meeting.
Okay.
We have Dr. Mona from Egypt Japan University who just joined us. Dr. Mona, can you introduce yourself?
My name is Melody. I'm the Dean of School of Environment, Energy Resources and Chemical and Petrochemical Engineering in Egypt Japan University for Science and Technology. And I'm sharing and participating in ProGirls program 2 years ago.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mona. Happy to have you on board again.
Thank you.
I guess that's everyone already on board. Did I miss anyone?
I don't know because I don't see the chat function, but...
Please, if I miss anyone, please let me know. You can introduce yourself now.
Yes. And maybe also our EconoWin team, we can introduce ourselves. So except for a very, very little number of person, I think you all know me. I'm Krine Stahl. I'm coordinating ProGirls at the EconoWin or DDM project since a few years. But currently I'm mostly working in another GIZ program, which is called Labor Market Access Program. But I'm still working in the background. Yeah, I do mostly conceptual work and quality management as it comes to this project. And I'm very, very happy to have you all on board in this challenging year, I think, for all of us. But I'm very optimistic that we will make the best out of it. Maybe Hania, you can continue.
Yes, sure. I just, Riham Hazem is raising her hand. I guess she will introduce herself now. Riham, can you unmute to start talking?
Yeah, yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I'm Riham Hazem. I work at City Care Petrochemicals. This is not my first year. I participated in ProGirls before when I used to work with MacLab. Now I've got the privilege that I wanted to introduce ProGirls to the company that I work in. And basically, this is our first year as a company to join ProGirls.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Riham. I guess I introduce myself now. So my name is Hania Al-Odi. I've been working in the GIZ and in ProGirls project for around 2 years now. I'm really glad we are able to sustain ProGirls virtually somehow. And thank you so much for attending today.
And maybe Verena, you can also say a few words, just what you are doing as an external consultant, mainly focusing on evaluation.
Exactly. My name is Verena Stemme. Some of you might know from me last year. I helped Hanya and Krina to organize the trip to Berlin. Yes, unfortunately, due to Corona, there is no trip, but I'm helping to evaluate. So I'm a bit in the back today, just listening.
Yes. Thank you, Verena. And Amr, are you there?
He is.
But maybe Amr cannot speak. It's okay. Okay. But Amr is there as well, and Amr supports us in ProGirls mainly as it comes to communication. Some of you might know him. Okay, then thank you so much for this introduction round. Let's move on. We just wanted to thank you all once more for your important contributions throughout the last years in ProGirls. Some of you are new to ProGirls, but most of you have been supporting us since a few years. And you are part of the GDM or Econowin company network. And just to remind you also of the important work we have been doing together. So we have reached nearly 400 Egyptian female pupils until now. And this year we try to reach around 250 more. Before we brief you a bit more on what we have in mind for this year, we would like to share a video clip with you that has been done by Doa, who is a former ProGirls participant, so a former pupil who could benefit from ProGirls. And I personally think this clip shows very much why ProGirls is important and which effect it can have on female pupils. So let's have a look. And Hanya, you might switch on the clip now and maybe also say just a few words on how this video was made.
Yes, sure. So this video was actually produced as part of our Econowin Couch Summit 2020. This summit was an online summit that took place from the 9th of June till the 17th. And the main aim was to bridge the gap between companies and the new generation, Generation Z, especially the female talents. And on the last episode of that online summit, we had an inspiring video to show that, to imagine what would happen to the world if gender diversity is fulfilled in all companies. And we ended with an inspiring voice of a Generation Z, and she's actually, like Krina mentioned, she's Umneya, and she's one of our ProGirls who have been taking part in ProGirls for several years. And she mentioned how she started to feel that she can actually work in an engineering field untypical for men, just because she took part in ProGirls and she experienced work life at a young age. And it very much shows the importance of projects like ProGirls and how it's needed in these times. So I'll just stop talking and share the video.
Yeah.
Just imagine a world where gender inequality ceases to exist, where women lead as much as men, and gender does not come in question anymore. Imagine all companies around the world are committed to gender diversity, and those that don't are the outlier. Imagine women working in all men-dominated sectors with no exceptions. Just imagine women in the Middle East, North Africa, and Europe promoted based on merit and capabilities. A limitless world A world that does not allow women to surrender to social limitation. Imagine a world where women participate in the labor force at the same rate as men, work the same number of hours as men, and are employed at the same levels as men across sectors. Fascinating, huh? Imagine what women can do to develop global economies. We have achieved so much progress for women inclusion, only because someone once imagined that we could. Umniya is a girl from the Middle East who could imagine all of that. Let's hear her story.
My name is Umniya, and I'm a 16 years old Egyptian girl. I've always excelled in mathematics and often wondered what it would be like to be a female engineer. Unfortunately, the engineering field has always been portrayed as male-dominated. However, when I got the opportunity to do a summer internship at the company, I immediately chose an engineering company, and when I was assigned to an after-sales automotive services center, I was so excited. This was the opportunity I was waiting for. So I reached out to this friend who did the same internship at the same company the previous year to discuss her experiences and the challenges she faced. Of course, expectantly, at the beginning, she and her fellow interns were underestimated and were given minimal work just because the engineers thought it was too dangerous for girls to get involved. However, they were able to overcome this situation through working harder, and as the days went by, the engineers got used to their presence, and she and her fellow interns were not only able to learn a lot about this profession, but also prove to the other employees that they, young females, can do it. I was lucky enough to follow the footsteps of these amazing female trainees and get a real taste of what it's like to be a female engineer in a big company. For me, it was like a dream coming true, honestly. It helped me shape my future career choice and believe in myself and believe that there's a lot of open possibilities for me as a young Egyptian girl. Unfortunately, only a handful of girls did get such an opportunity. So today, dear leaders and company representatives, I invite you all to make this dream come true for all the young girls out there who are too scared to follow their dream job. Open up your companies, take a bet on them, and you'll know that the upcoming female Generation Z can do it. Thank you.
Like Umniya, millions of women out there imagine and strive for leadership in the workplace. This is our role. We are ambassadors of gender diversity management.
Are you ready to be ambassadors for gender diversity? Yeah, I personally like this video clip very much. As Hania said, it shows very much how strongly ProGirls can actually contribute to inspiring female Egyptian pupils to work in the private sector, to work in STEM fields, to work in leadership or management positions. And we are very happy to this year. Can you see the PowerPoint, by the way?
Yes,
Okay.
but not
Not
in full.
Okay.
Can we only ask you to play the slideshow so that we can have a full screen?
Yes, that's what I wanted to do. So now it's okay, right?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so we all know that ProGirls is there to inspire Egyptian female pupils towards jobs that are maybe sometimes not so much in reach, that seem far away, that are not typical for women. So STEM jobs, leadership or management jobs. In former times, we have been running Girls' Days in cooperation with most of you. We have been implementing mentoring sessions, female mentoring, and we have been implementing internships with all of your support. This year, due to Corona, we cannot really work live. So we have to stick also to online formats like we do right now, also in this introductory session. And what we would like to do this year is to offer 250 female pupils from different PASH schools. So I think most of you know the PASH school network already. So PASH schools are schools that receive special support from the German government through the Goethe Institute. And we can access these schools through our cooperation with the Goethe Institute. So the project is a joint project between Goethe Institute, Cairo and Alexandria, and Econowin and the GIZ. And there will be pupils from Cairo, Sohag, Damanhour, and Alexandria. They are acquired by Goethe Institute, and we, so GIZ, Econowin, are mostly responsible for coordinating webinars. So we would like to hold a series of webinars for these 250 female pupils. If the situation improves in Egypt, we might also offer a Girls' Day in October, but currently we still don't think so that this is very likely, but let's hope. So when we talk about this webinar series, what do we have in mind? We thought it makes sense that each of you, so each female role model working in a company in Egypt in either a STEM field or a management field, sometimes it's also a combination, prepares a PowerPoint presentation which should not last longer than 15 to maximum 20 minutes. You would hold this presentation in English or in Arabic, and then there would be around 30 minutes Q&A where the pupils could ask you more detailed questions. And actually, the pupils, they would be prepared beforehand by Goethe Institute, so they hopefully will bring their questions already. They hopefully will have informed themselves a little bit more on your company beforehand. You know, they get a flyer from our end where they see, okay, on this date, there is this company presenting and this female role model is presenting. So they are informed when who is going to speak and when which company is going to be represented. We are also having in mind to record the webinar series so that also more female pupils can actually profit from the webinar series. In the future, we will upload each and every webinar on the Econowin website, where you can also access the webinars. And we would like to start this series of webinars in the second week of July, and we would run probably 2 to 3 webinars till mid of September with your help. And what we would like to see in the webinar, as it comes to content, we put some points here on this slide down for you. You will have access to this PowerPoint later on. And I can maybe just point them out to you. So when you hold the PowerPoint presentation, when you present to the female pupils, we would like to ask you to focus firstly on your company. So what is your company doing? What career fields is your company offering in STEM and management? Then secondly, it would be brilliant if you could also focus on the topic of what does it mean to work as a female in your field of work and in your company? What does it take? What does it mean? How does your daily life as a woman in your company look like? Then thirdly, how did you make it into this post, into this company? So what was your career path like? Fourthly, how might the female pupils, how might the girls get there? What are the needed skills? What are qualifications? What are previous work experiences that they should make in order to, in the end up as a strong, successful, beautiful lady like you? And then last but not least, if you find the time and if you would like to, this is not obligatory, but this is an inspiration, you can also touch further topics with a focus on the future of work, for example, digital transformation, automation, or also changing job profiles and skills. If you look at the future, for example, what do you think and how far might also your company need different calibers than now? So as you know, the pupils, they will be 15 to 17 years old. So they still have some years ahead of them until they finish their university studies. So maybe at that time, other skills will be needed or other jobs might be created. And maybe you can already give some insights into this direction as well. Maybe we can have a little break here. Do you have questions on the webinar series? Does it make sense to you? Is it clear? Just go ahead.
No question. I actually find it's a very good idea for me.
Wow, that's amazing. Who is saying this? Because I can't see the chat.
Maggie.
Okay,
yes, Maggie from the GC. Yeah, I find it's a very good idea because this is usually how we're interacting with our students for now, helping them in making their decisions on majors and further steps like maybe they want to do their masters or decide on their majors or faculties and so on. So I believe this is a very good idea because then the girls get to see each and every one of us in different fields, not just her mentor or something. So I think this is a very good approach. We're interested in it, yes. And the 15-minute to 20 presentation with the topics that you just mentioned would be very sufficient. And in this area also of digitization, we can also participate in that with more deeper details or longer presentations, depending on what you need.
Yes, fantastic. That sounds good. Yes. Thank you, Maggie.
Okay. You're welcome.
Then we have Yasmin has a question.
Yes, excuse me, I didn't get the last point in the presentation, touch topics related to the future of work. Can you please repeat this again?
Yeah, what we mean here is if you want, you can also in the presentation focus on what you expect as changes in your company and in the world of work in the future. You know, we are now living in this age of digital transformation, automatization, Corona. So maybe you have some ideas in how far, let's say in 5 years from now or in 7 years from now, when the girls have finished their university studies, what do you think? What jobs are there in your company still? What new job profiles or jobs would your company create due to these changes, due to digital transformation or automatization, maybe also due to pandemics like Corona? Is that a bit clearer?
Yes, I got it. Thank you so much. Thank
you. Yeah, you're more than welcome.
Okay, please, can I ask you something?
Please.
Hello, do you hear me?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you for your clarification about the content of the presentation. But if you please send it an email, okay, so we cannot lose any part of the what you just said.
Yes, is this Mona speaking?
Mona from
yes, I thought so. I can identify your voice. Yes, Dr. Mona, absolutely. We are going to send you this PowerPoint presentation by email. Plus, this webinar is also recorded. So you can also access the whole webinar once more once we have uploaded it on our EconoWin website.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, welcome. Are there more questions or comments?
Yes, I have a question. Karina, I just wanted to know how excited were the girls, or are the girls, if you talked to them already or didn't, about this to be turned to online?
Yeah, that's a nice question. Actually, we have not talked to the girls yet. Goethe Institute has acquired them. What I find might be an indicator for the fact that the girls like this format is that they very, very quickly found 200 interested girls. But we don't know how they will actually like it in general. That's why this year also in our evaluation, we are going to focus on these questions. Like we are going to ask the girls, okay, how did you like this year's round of ProGirls? How did you like the digitalized formats and so on and so forth? And maybe, who knows, in the future, even if Corona is over, we can still have a combination of, you know, digital formats and more practical formats, if they like it, you know, and if it has sufficient effects.
Okay, this would be great. I hope they will be interested in it. Maybe they will be more interested in the online, so they don't have to go and come, you know?
Yeah, it could be. Yes, it's an assumption. Yeah, let's see. Yes, we are going to share some of the evaluation results with you in the end, so that you also see what effects your work had on them. Yes.
Great, thank you.
Welcome. Are there more questions, or can we continue?
Yes, just one last question.
Yes.
This is Nina from DHL. Regarding the webinars that you said it will start from mid of July till mid of September.
Yes.
So we will choose the suitable spot for us, or you are going to send us the availabilities, or how it's gonna work?
Okay, thank you for this question. This is, I think, a very good bridge to our next part. We would like also to clarify some organizational aspects with you. Yeah, we are going to focus on that in a minute, if it's okay.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Okay, then let's proceed. If there's no urgent other questions, as it comes to the content organizational questions, we are going to focus on it now in a second. Okay. Then PR and communication. Hania, you wanted to say a few words on that aspect, right?
Yes, sure. So as Karina already mentioned in the beginning, we'll be recording all the webinars that each company and each female company representative will be doing for the girls. And then it will be uploaded on our social media pages, and that also of Goethe Institute and on our website. So as we are trying very much to promote the effort that you are putting in that online webinars, and also to have a bigger outreach to more students that are the ones attending than the 250 who are attending, so that more people and more students and more teachers can also attend. And for that, we also have like a declaration of consent form that I'm going to talk about later, that each female company representative has to sign to make sure that we are not violating any rights after recording and uploading each webinar, and also each student, in order to apply to join to attend all the online webinars, has also to sign. Their parents has to sign, because they're all under 16 or under 18 years old, but they are also signing a declaration of consent form that whenever they are going to speak throughout the online webinar, we can upload that safely, and there will be no like legal issues. What else? Oh, and also we will be taking some quotes during the online webinar, like that would go with the post that we will be always sharing on our like EconoWin Facebook page. And I'll also be sending you the links to our EconoWin Facebook page, to our website, and also to Goethe Institute Facebook pages. So you can also like have a look and follow up on what we are doing. And we'll also be tagging your company and yourself throughout all the posts that we will be doing, and definitely feel free to share whatever we are doing, because that's like to to make sure that a lot of people are learning about what we are doing and about your efforts.
Yes. So it's a bit like also last year, we tried to do as many Facebook posts as we can with a reference to each female company representative and to each webinar and each company represented in the webinar. Plus, we are going to have these webinars uploaded on our website.
We just have one question from Rihem.
Ah, okay, yes.
Rihem, you can unmute and ask it now.
There is another Rihem. I asked my question already. I think there is another Rihem. Right?
Rihem?
I should lower my hand because
there is two actually.
My hand. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so right now we are talking a bit about like the whole organizational aspect that we will be doing, but definitely it's not too much. First of all, we have that declaration of consent form that I have already sent you via email. We need that each person who will be talking on that webinar to sign that he doesn't mind that we will be uploading and sharing that webinar, because as GIZ we are abiding by EU data protection laws, and we need to make sure that you don't mind that. Okay, and then later on, right after this info session, I'll also be sending you an email that include a link, a doodle link, and then I will put all the dates, from July till September, and then you can just select which date that you prefer to do the online webinar in. And as to the girls, Goethe Institute has already like a list of all the girls who are interested to attend all the online webinars, the 250. And I also have to say regarding the question that Rihem already asked about the interest of the girls, I personally receive a lot of girls after the deadline of applying and sending the declaration of consent form of their parents. They are asking me to join. So I guess maybe later on during the webinars itself, we might like have, because the only problem is on MS Teams, we can't have, we have a limit of 250 people attending per call. So that's why we couldn't open it for a lot more. But definitely we can make sure that different students can be attending the webinars, at least that we can like satisfy their needs, because I feel when they heard about it, and it's mainly the word of the mouth more than the teachers, informing them about ProGirls like going virtually this year, they were really interested to apply and to take part in it, because they listen to their colleagues who have taken part in previous rounds of ProGirls, and they know that it's beneficial for them to take part in it, even if it's just online and no like physical internships and mentoring session. And just please get back to me on the email with when you would like to hold the webinar till the 5th of July, because we would like to start like to kick off the series of webinars like by the second week of July already, and to also to kick start with all the PR efforts that we will be doing. And also we need to get back to the girls and to Goethe Institute with a list with all the companies who will be taking part, and when they would like to hold the webinar. That will also motivate the students to commit and to take part in it when they see the name of the companies and the profile of the female company representatives who will be doing the webinars. I guess
Thank
that's
you, yes. Are there questions concerning our proceeding, like the organizational side of the project, or is it clear?
So far, I think it's clear. I think it's very clear. I think everything is
fantastic. Yes, great. Okay, then let us move on already to our last part. As mentioned already, we are going to evaluate this year also a bit more what Corona affected as it comes to ProGirls, but also internally in your company. So as part of this evaluation, we would like you now, if possible, still to stay with us for 10 to maximum 15 minutes, and then the webinar is over already, and focus on the questions here. Verena is going to take notes, so we are going to try really to focus on your answers on these questions in our evaluation. So I'm going to read out the questions to you, and it would be great if anyone who would like to say something could indicate that in the chat function. You might also just write your answers down in the chat function, or you say them verbally, as you prefer. Are you ready? I hope so. So the first question to you would be, do you think that ProGirls or other professional orientation formats or offers for girls are still on the agenda of your company in times of Corona? Is it the same as before Corona? Is it even more a topic for your company, or is it less? What do you think?
Sorry, you want us to write this in the chat because the voice went. I was not able to hear how we can say our comments. No, I heard the question. I mean, do you want us to comment on the chat or say it?
To save time, I would say we can always have 2 to 3 persons saying something, and the other persons can write the answers in the chat function. I think this helps us to save time and to gather as many answers as possible. So it's first come, first serve. Let's continue like this. The first 3 can say something orally, and the rest can type it into the chat. We still have 15 minutes.
Can I just say something? Can I just say something?
Please.
Oh, I have a problem. I cannot write in the chat. It's some restrictions about about my program, so I can only use my voice.
Okay, then go ahead. Please.
So about me, I don't know if we can just wait, because I had questions for some things before about the presentations, and I don't know, maybe you can wait at the end of the meeting. So
you still had questions on the, okay,
yes,
no, but go ahead.
Because I could not write in the chat, unfortunately, so.
Okay, no, go ahead with your question then, please.
Yes, I was just, I wanted to ask about something. Are we to use other colleagues? I mean, I have colleagues in my company who are really, whom I see as role models for the girls that they can communicate with, and is the presentation focuses only on me, or can I have someone else, or someone with me just write it with,
yes,
talk about it?
This is a very good question. Thank you for this. We thought about this aspect, and it is okay that you hold, or if you hold the webinar jointly. For this year, we said we would have 1 webinar per company. So how you actually fill the 15 to 20 minutes of speaking time, this is up to you. So you can also be 3 female role models, for example, and you split the work. This is absolutely fine. Or you are 1 and you do it properly. This is all okay for us.
Okay, and as for your question about the agenda, definitely it is in our agenda for this year.
That's great. And is it like last year it was less or more, or is it the same? Like
no, this year we're more interested actually, because we've taken notice that we've been trying. I mean, we've been focusing on caretakers. Now we're focusing on little girls, students, especially, as we're also opening a new factory. So we need scientists and engineers, and for me, I would be very proud if they were girls. It would be, a huge jump in our company, and we would really benefit from that.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, definitely it is in our agenda.
Fantastic. Yeah, that sounds good. So yeah, you say that Corona even increased maybe a little bit more the need for professional orientation formats for girls. Who else thinks like that?
Krina, we have a lot of
in
people
the chat.
already. Yes, right.
I see it also on the mobile phone. This is amazing. Yeah. Anyone else would like to say something on this question verbally?
Yes, Passant.
Passant, please.
Yes, I think my company is as interested in taking part of ProGirls as before the Corona. I personally think it's more important, and I try to push this forward in the agenda with the management, because we see a lot of changes happening. We see roles dissolving and new roles emerging, and I think it's our duty to talk to the new generations and the new girls about the changes that we're witnessing in business. They are not in business and they are not hands-on. It's our role to give them insights about how the whole world is changing, how the business is being run now. Maybe this will help them also to focus on certain areas in their education or their training. Maybe this will be an eye-opener for them to focus on certain subjects, given the changes that are happening. And this will also help us as a company, because it will further bridge the gap between what is being learned academically and what the job market really needs. So I would say my company is as interested in ProGirls as last year, and I personally have a great desire to push this even further in the agenda.
Fantastic. Yes. So it is more or less, let's say, to the same extent important in your eyes and maybe for your company. Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much. Let us move on to the next question. If you still have thoughts in mind on this question, you can still type in for half a minute or whatever. And the others can focus already on the second question. Gender diversity and inclusion of female talents, that's a little bit, like the first question, but here we talk not about only young girls. We talk also maybe about those already on the labor market. So are gender diversity and the inclusion of female talents currently still on the agenda amidst the Corona situation? Or not? Is it maybe less on the agenda? Is it even more on the agenda? What is the situation like in your company? Now we focus on gender diversity mostly and inclusion of female talents. Inclusion of female talents is here understood also of inclusion of female talents that might also be older, that are not 15, 16-year-old schoolgirls.
Yeah, I have something to say about this. My favorite topic, gender equality, and I can't hold it. So actually, many surveys has proven that the female working force will increase in the coming period, especially that many things will be going online. So I see that it's a chance of the females who are really qualified and experienced, and mainly, for example, they had to get married and stay at home. So now, as many jobs are going to be online, they have a very good chance in order to go back to the employment once they have the chance to work on part-time basis, freelance basis, outsourcing, or from home. So I think that women inclusion at the coming phase is very important, because she has relatively a better chance to prove herself. Now that the companies, they are changing their mentalities, and they were forced to accept things that they didn't accept before, which is for employees to work from home. So now females, I believe they have really a much better chance, because many females, they keep working till they get married, and then when they get children, they have to stay at home. So this is going to be an additional force which is going to join the working force. In addition, that also females has proven within this pandemic to be really flexible calibers. They were able to work from home efficiently and somehow without monitoring, same as they used to work on site, because we had very good feedbacks from clients in this regard.
Great. Yeah. Thank you so much for this elaborate answer. Yeah. Gender diversity is still a very, very important topic on the agenda, maybe even more than beforehand. If we also focus on, let's say, more remote forms of work, right?
Sure.
That are maybe more attractive also to females. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else would like to say something verbally on that second question? I see already here on my mobile phone in the chat that many of you answered already, but maybe someone would like to elaborate more.
Dina from ACT.
Okay, Dina, go ahead.
How are you?
Dina. Yeah, fantastic. How are you?
I just left a board meeting where gender diversity was on the agenda. We were discussing this topic and the ProGirls, of course. Yet we had a different, we had it in a different way because during Corona or during the pandemic, we had to have cost cut, and the most flexible employees were the women. They understood the challenge, and they were happy with supporting the company and the lower employees with cutting their, I wouldn't say the salaries, but contributing to the welfare of the whole company, because we had it like on would you accept or not accept that we renegotiate your contract in such difficult times. In addition, we found that our competitors, they were hunting in this very difficult time. We had all our turnover from men. No woman left the company. And this was an eye-opener, like we are working in a very niche where women, in a niche market where women are totally qualified like men in Oracle Hospitality. Yet the men, they were the one seeking to change the company, not the women. So we said, okay, they have this loyalty and this heartfelt thing in their built-in nature, yani. So we are now adding more girls into our ACT Academy than before. Because we can see that their retention is very low versus men.
Oh, wow, very interesting. Yeah, yeah. And this became, like, this tendency became even clearer during Corona, you mean?
Yes, yes,
yes. Yeah, very interesting. Thank you, Dina. Maybe we can move on to the next two questions. We can combine them into one, so not to lose too much time because we are a bit over time. How has the Corona situation changed the situation of female employees in your company? Dina, you related to that a little bit already. Maybe someone else would like to say something. Also, this question number 4, it's interrelated with question number 3. What is expected from female employees at your company in such a crisis? So whoever feels would like to say something to the question number 3 and 4, please go ahead. Anya, is anyone?
I can talk in this. Yes.
Dr. Azna?
Yes.
Great. Yes.
For me, you know, I have more than 70% in my employees female in my work, and we are in this crisis. We have to work all the day, but I face a big problem for the females. Some of them want to work from home, and I can't do it like that. I do it for 2 or 3 who are working online, but they have to work physically. So I divided for the females in the morning before the lockdown, and for the male at night. But this month, that's since the 2 months before, but began this month, who are supporting me and continue and working hard are the females. and I feel, you know, so happy from their side. Whatever they can do, they do, and three of them now coming even after the lockdown, and that's surprising me.
Wow.
I insist to be with them, to support them, and to show them that the women can work, because in the pharmaceutical business we have to be there during the crisis and during the lockdown.
Yeah.
Our work is increasing, not decreasing.
Mhm.
This we are, you know, it's a duty for us to do it. Yeah, and I was supported by the females and expecting from the female employees during this crisis. I was expecting that in the beginning, two left the work because their parents, you know, were afraid how you are going to the pharmacy and during corona and you will be infected, and that's I can't, you know, push them, but they are responsible. Who are responsible? Wait and continue with me, and they are supporting the business, and they feel responsible, you know.
Very
That's what
interesting.
happened
Dr.
with
Azar.
me.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so
Only
much.
increase, yes.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. Someone else would like. Yeah.
Riham Hazem, she's raising her hand.
Yes. I did read someone write in the chat. It depends on the attitude. I guess I agree with that, because in my company, when we got, you know, the word that because of corona, some, you know, it's the working aspect of the 50-50, having to share days, working days with our colleagues, I found it that men and women actually behaved the same. It depends. If you determine to keep your performance, then you're gonna attend and you're gonna give your best shot, even though you have kids or your caretaker or whatever it is that you have back at home. And I've seen a lot of women in my company that actually they were told that they can only come 3 days a week. They actually came the whole 5 days, even stayed late at work during Ramadan. Some of them left to their houses at 10 p.m., which was really, really late. These were after hours, and they kept their performance. They went to Cairo because of the meetings. And I think this stands for, it's not about, you know, the gender, it's more about the personality and how the people act towards it. So that's it. That's what that's my answer.
Yeah, very interesting as well. So I think it depends a little bit like on the situation of each and every woman, on maybe also on the means she have, but also maybe on her attitude. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. Maybe we can move on, because I see already also very interesting answers here on the chat. I would leave it like this concerning question number 3 and 4. Maybe we can move on to the 5th. Are there new measures taken to support women at work because of Corona at your company? Some of you have touched it a little bit, but we would be interested in your elaborate answer on that. So have your companies taken new measures, supporting measures, maybe for or especially tailored for women during Corona or because of Corona?
Sorry, what do you mean by measures? You mean evaluation measures, or what kind of measures?
Anything like supporting mechanism, maybe also new evaluation measures, and then they came out with, I don't know what, a study. So is there new measures taken that have a focus on supporting women at work because or during Corona at your company?
We have Sarah Hisham raising her hand.
Hello, hi. Hi.
Hello.
So let's speak about the measurements, or let's not say that we're not going to change any KPIs or any evaluation system for women, because we always believe in equality between male and female. But of course, after Corona, we decided to take extra flexibility for ladies. especially for those who have kids less than 12 years old. Definitely they have the priority to work more from home. Definitely depends on the type of the job, if it's not needed to be at the location, I mean. But we're always keen, even with the directors, as HR, we're always keen with the directors that if you have a mother with the kids less than 12 years old, or a pregnant lady, or a lady that has special case, that we give her priority in the flexibility so she can work from home. And surprisingly, even if we give them this flexibility, they still come to work and they still work more. And if they have the conditions and they have to stay at home, they always manage to work late, work anytime. They're on call 24/7. But we always, we always keen that we want our employees, female one, that we encourage them to work, not to hate work. So especially now that there are no schools, no nurseries, so it's a burden on the mother where to put her kids. She cannot leave them with anyone due to the disease. You don't trust anyone to come to your home. So we try our best to give them priority in order to give more and go the extra mile in the work. Mm-hmm. So these are, and we already put this in our policy when we decided to have employees work from home. Those, of course, who job functions make them work from home. Yani, it's okay for them to work from home, not on a machine or something like that. Yani. It's part of the policy that we give priorities to pregnant ladies and for mothers in order to be able to work and go the extra mile.
Mm-hmm. Yes, fantastic. Thank you so much.
May I also add, since Sarah is speaking on behalf of Johanna, may I also add something? Maybe it will sound like a minor thing, but we also always try to explore with the management how can we make our environment more empowering and accommodating to women. So one of the things we were discussing is that we realized that working women also have so many other roles, given that education now takes place online. Yeah. She takes care of the house, of the education, of the training. So one of the simple things that we've been discussing, and I think this is adopted in a lot of multinationals like P&G and Unilever, is you block a certain time of the day, midday. So from 1 to 3, no meetings are scheduled for women, to give her also some time to attend for her other roles, like maybe school, e-learning with her kids, taking care of the house. So we try to block 1 to 3, between 1 to 3 p.m. with no meetings for women. So they either take the meetings before that time or after that time. So also to give them enough room to take care of the other roles they are playing.
Not only from 1 to 3, but we, as my colleague Passant said, we give them the flexibility and the priority at any time. So if a mother said that, no, I will not be able from 3 to 4, it's okay, we can postpone the meeting, or she can delegate to someone else. We give her the flexibility for this. Yes, this is true.
Yes, that is a very interesting point. I have been reading also here in the chat. Yes, many of you said that women had been given more flexibility as it comes to mobile working or working from home. But this is another aspect, like to provide them also with more flexibility as it comes to their actually working time, their time that they have to be present even online, right? Because of their often triple roles they have to play as working females. Yeah. Is there any other measure apart from, let's say, providing women with more opportunities to work remotely from home, to provide them also with more flexible working times or time spans? Any other measures that had been implemented in your company for women because of Corona? Like measures that differ from these ones that had been described? If not, you might still think about it. Maybe something pops up in your mind. Let's move on to the last question. Let's focus on it for another 3 minutes, and then our short webinar will be over. So here, this is a question looking a bit more on the future. What do you think, what effect will Corona have on the future of work for example, on female employees, on the skills needed, or also on gender diversity?
I can add to this, if possible, as it's our field of work, employment, and the related skills and qualifications. Of course, many sets of skills they are required now, in addition to what was required before. And the qualifications and the technology is now on top of them. Now everything that starts with an E, electronic, e-marketing, e-learning, everything is more required than before. Due to that, the online, the e-commerce and the e-marketing is increasing, and also the characteristics in the persons and the skills required are now including flexibility and in order to be able to work under any conditions, hard work, reporting, having to work without being monitored, because it's not the same than working from home like working in the company. So now many other skills will be added to the profiles of the employees after COVID. It's not going to be the same. Problem-solving skills, analytical skills, many other related qualifications has been added to the usual profile of every job.
Yes, thank you so much for this elaborate answer. Yes, you touched upon many different, let's say, skills needed or changes that you are having in mind. Anyone else having something else in mind that you would like to share?
Hello. I would just add something that I believe that in the coming period, employers will be only concerned with the employees definitely who are skilled and competent, in addition to people who are committed, who are very passionate about their job, who do it on a professional level. I believe medium performance will not be accepted, or low performance will not be accepted, because I believe the upcoming period will be very hard for all industries and all businesses. So they need employees who are really very committed, and they do give a lot to the companies. Lazy employees maybe, or people who do not submit their tasks on time and stuff like this. I believe they would have very few chances, and maybe they'll be laid out of the labor market.
Yeah, very interesting. So more commitment, you think, is needed, more or less. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Maybe one last comment. I see already that some of you answered in the chat function already. Anyone else who would like to contribute something? Oh, some also made a very long comment. Thank you. Yeah. If there is no answer to that question present, this is absolutely fine. Let us stop here. We thank you so much for focusing on these questions with us for a while. We are trying to focus, as I said, in the evaluation on your thoughts also as it comes to Corona. We would like for now to say thank you also for bearing with us these 1.5 hours, and we are looking very much forward to cooperating with you this year despite Corona. Let's make the best out of it, and who knows, maybe this is also a very good time to experiment with new formats that we can also use for the future once the world is back a little bit to normal. Do you have any urgent questions that you still would like to pose for now?
No, thanks, all clear.
Okay, then I would like you to all switch on your camera once more, and we do a group photo so that we can have a nice Facebook post on this webinar. And then we are done.
Okay.
I still have to get used to these online formats because
You should have
we can't really interact, but it's better than nothing.
Can you stop sharing the screen?
Yes. I stopped. Ah, it's so good to see you all. Okay. Who is going to take the photo? I'm going to take one myself now. Maybe Hania, you can do the same also.
I'm taking, but Myrna, can you please like حط موبايلي فوق شوية عشان مش شايفة وشك.
ما فيش مشكلة. Diversity. Okay, so we have 9 persons now. This is amazing. Lovely. And maybe those who are present now can switch off their microphones so that we can have the other, I don't know how many they are, 6 also on the second photo. Thank you. Okay. Ah, Wessam, yes. Some more beautiful faces are showing up. This is amazing. Some interaction. Who else?
Yeah.
Hania, where are you, by the way? I don't see you.
Yeah, I can't see Hania.
Yeah. Let's have Hania as well. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye.
Have a lovely day and speak soon.
Same to you, Krine. Bye.
Thank you, Hania.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.